So how do you make holy water? Well, you boil the hell out of it. It's not my best one.
Perfect.
Hello there broskies, the Turk Hassan back here again with a brand new silhouette, and this one I'm quite intrigued by. On today's episode, we are having a look at the brand new Nike Air Max FlyKnit Racer. So, a brand new Air Max dropping on Nike. Just like the Ben & Jerry's in my freezer. You know I had to scoop that up. Now Nike have actually blended two silhouettes to make this one. And if you haven't gathered by the name, this is inspired by that 2012 silhouette that we had. The Nike FlyKnit Racer, which was a very popular running shoe. A lot of people who did run love the FlyKnit material on the upper just because of how breathable it actually is. But the other silhouette that we've had only recently was the Nike Air Max Pre-Day. And as you can tell from the midsole and the air unit, it is exactly that. And even though it is a new silhouette, it is very distinctive. Now when it comes to sneakers and sort of making a hybrid version of two silhouettes, sometimes it works and sometimes it's a total disaster. But if there's one thing I'm hoping that you take away from this video is if this sneaker was a good idea or not. Or whether Nike should have just left these two alone. But with all that aside, let's talk about the box because this one might be a game changer for better or for worse. Now there have been some whispers about Nike using reusable boxes and trying to ditch the whole double box thing. And this is the first silhouette that I've seen Nike use this. It comes in a plain cardboard box without any Nike branding, which for me is so weird to see. Now other than the branding inside of the box, there is of course the product sticker, which does actually say Air Max FlyKnit Racer, and its official colorway is black and white. But once I finally figured out how to open this box, I was sort of taken aback by it. Not only because of its new design, but just the layout of it as well. Yes, Nike have switched it up here just in case you want to make a return or I guess ship it out again, but it kind of takes away from the sneaker. If you're anything like me and you do actually keep the boxes, it's kind of a letdown. But I guess this sneaker being at least 20% recycled material, Nike sort of had to pull out something different. So I guess in the long run, it's all for a good cause. What do you think broskies? Are you a fan of this new style box or should have Nike left it alone? But that's pretty much it when it comes to the packaging and the box. Right, I know what's on everyone's mind and I've had a few questions already. Posting these up on Instagram, I've had quite a few questions. And the number one question was, of course, how these fit and how the sizing is. And I went true to size with this, of course, not knowing a Scooby-Doo about how these fit or anything like that. But what I will say is go half a size down to your normal sizing. Because of the FlyKnit upper and how slanted the sneaker is because of the midsole and the air unit at the back. And these are such a narrow and long sneaker, so going half a size down, in my opinion, is your best bet. But if you are a wide footer, I'd say stick true to size. Right, so the box is out of the way, and the sizing is too. I think it's time we take an up close and personal look. Now I've spoken so much about how I love FlyKnit uppers on sneakers, especially the Air Force FlyKnit. And there have been some running sneakers by Nike that I do really like. Now of course some sneakers pull it off better than others and it all depends on what you really want from a shoe. The breathability for me, especially in the summer, is one of the biggest priorities on a shoe. So that's one of the reasons why I had to get this bad boy in. But of course we've got this sort of Oreo type look to the upper in terms of the colorway, and we will talk on the other colorways in a moment. But this one for me, in my opinion, was the most wearable. Now on both sides we have that enlarged Nike swoosh in that white colorway mainly. Now this upper is pretty see-through, so if you were to wear I guess different colored socks, you could defo see through that. Now although the upper is FlyKnit, it doesn't hold that much structure, but I was pretty impressed by how well these hold up. But if you are using these for running, it might be a total different story. Now moving on to the lacing, we have this synthetic leather look around the whole of the lace holes in this sort of matte black finish. Now these do come with very thin laces and I guess it does work well with the shoe. But I do like a thicker lace to be fair. Now most of the tongue is again FlyKnit, but towards the top it is sort of woven in. And then the tag in black and white does say Nike FlyKnit. Now the sock liner is again FlyKnit, but towards the back where it cups at the heel, there is a lot more padding to keep structure. And if you are using these for working out or going running, then that is exactly what you need. Now the Nike pinwheel is of course in white, which does signify this is a recycled shoe, and the insole in itself is black. Now the pull tab at the back of the heel counter isn't even reflective, they're literally just white stripes, which is a bit disappointing, but I guess it is what it is. Now again, we've got that synthetic leather panel at the back, which does cup at the heel. Now the midsole here, which does of course borrow from the Nike Pre-Day, does work so well. To be fair though, you're either a fan of it or you're not. And I sort of sit in the middle. I think it does work well with this shoe, but the Air Max Pre-Day wasn't really for me. Now of course the Air unit itself might not be as durable as say an Air Max 90 and Air Max 1, just because in my opinion it is a lot more exposed. But of course it is very comfortable on foot, I can defo vouch for these. The Phylon foam towards the forefoot does work so well here, alongside the Air unit towards the back. So don't worry at all when it comes to the comfort of this shoe. Now we do have this new design to the waffle outsole, with the new Air branding towards the back. And then we've got that hole towards the middle, which you can have sort of access to the Air unit. Which again does make me question the durability to the Air unit. But I guess it's something over time we'll have to see. Right broskies, I hope that sort of helps in terms of making your own judgment and how these actually look. But now's the time we decide together whether these are a buy or a buy. So I can already see it, this shoe might be one of the most divisive shoes we've had in a little while. Now this colorway for me out of the launch colorways wasn't even the best, but it was the most wearable in my opinion. Best colorway out of the lot was that rainbow looking one. Defo reminds me of that Air Force One FlyKnit that we had, and that was an absolute banger. And looking at the Nike website now, the sizes for that pair are flying fast. And other than this pair, there was another colorway which for me was a bit lackluster. It just looks like it will get dirty very quickly. But of course, I will leave some purchase links down below, so if you are after a pair, don't leave it too long. Right, so there are a lot of things I do like about this shoe, but there are some things I do have a problem with. And I say problems, but it's more so questions than anything else. Like the durability to the exposed Air unit, that's something you will have to see over time, and if I'm willing to keep these, then I can sort of answer that myself. And I know it's within 2 years, Nike do offer that refund if the Air unit pops, for example. So in that case, it does sort of ease my mind there. One thing I didn't really like is how slanted they are towards the back, and I know that's sort of something you might have to get used to. I did get used to it on the Air Max 720, but in this case, the FlyKnit upper, it might take longer getting used to it. But of course, getting the sizing right might have helped that. And the only other thing that I do sort of question is the price. I think £145 is a bit steep for this silhouette. For me, I would sit these at around £130 or £125. But I guess it's one of those shoes, if you're willing to fork out for it, then you will anyway. So we've spoken about the bads, now it's time to talk about the goods. And we might touch on the ugly in a little bit too. Now the things I do really like is how comfortable this sneaker actually is and how breathable it is, of course being FlyKnit and all. Because of both of those factors, it is a great summer shoe. The only thing I wish it wasn't though, it is very narrow and it kind of kills it for me in terms of wearing these with other outfits. Unless you're wearing something really tight or shorts for example, it is pretty hard to pull off. And maybe that's just me, but it's defo something I did notice. Now the ugly part, and the bit I defo have to speak about, is the box. I know it's not a big deal, but to me, it really is. I'm really praying this is not the start of something new. I'm sort of hoping it's only for the recycled pairs that Nike are bringing out. Because this whole reusable box thing, it kind of kills it for me. I mean, look just behind me. I love collecting boxes. And I do reuse them. I put stuff in them. So Nike, please don't make this a permanent thing. I do get it though, don't get me wrong. So the environmentalists, please leave me alone. But I do get it. Trust me, I do. Or maybe even give us the option to choose the reusable boxes for some people that actually want it, you know? But my final verdict with these, I am a big fan. I am interested to see what other colorways Nike do bring out. So there is a lot more to like than there is not to with this silhouette. I am indeed going to give these an absolute buy. But broskies, leave your comments down below and let me know what you think about this brand new Air Max by Nike. Is this silhouette one of those shoes on your radar, or is this an absolute miss? Leave it all down below and I will pin the best comments. Anyways broskies, thank you for watching, thank you for supporting. Don't forget to hit me up on IG as well, because I'm most active over there. And whilst you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share. And of course, until the next episode, take care.